Hey everyone, it's Mary. Welcome back to my channel. And can you guys believe it's been like 2 months since I've done a full video up here? Like, what? Anyway, if you follow me on TikTok, I'm sure you have been following along and seeing that I've been consistently losing and all the health things and all the stuff that's been going on. But I've gotten into a really bad habit of not cross-posting things to my YouTube shorts. And I tend to do more short form content than long form content these days. So I apologize. I will try to remember next time to cross post to YouTube shorts so that you guys are updated. But here, let's do a long sit down video and just talk about how things are going. First of all, my audio may be a little bit lower just because my microphone will not connect to my phone. I don't know what's going on. It just keeps dropping the connection. So we're just going to use what came with the phone and hope for the best. Okay. So, weight update for you guys. I am down some more since last time we spoke. I am officially down 60 pounds. So, I weighed last time I was 389.7 or was it 0.5? I think it was 0.7. So, I am down 60 pounds. And you guys know I started Mounjaro back in March. I am still on 7.5. I did see my doctor last month and we talked about potentially moving up the dose, but decided not to because at the end of the day, I would like to stay on the lowest dose possible to maintain the weight loss and my blood sugar where it is. I don't think there's a reason to go up unless we see the medication stop working. And the doctor obviously agreed for the same reason. So we are keeping on the 7.5. I will tell you that I did get nervous there. There was like a 3-week span where I got stuck at 55 pounds down and I could not get the scale to move. I could not. I mean, I was like, oh my goodness, I'm only like 50 pounds in. Do I really have a stall already? Like, come on now. But when I think back and I look at those 3 weeks, it makes sense as to why I had a stall because it was budget season at work. So we were working really long hours. I was working like 9 a.m. to 7, 8, 9 o'clock at night, which is normal in hotel revenue management. Budget season is just busy. And that's normal, but it's only a few weeks out of the year, so you can't really complain. So I was working long hours. Because I was working long hours, I ended up falling into the whole door dashing dinner. And even though I did my best to make good choices, like getting burrito bowls that were full of protein from Chipotle or ordering salads, things like that, you're still ordering out. And because of that, portions are a little bigger, things are more saltier. And so I ended up stalling out. And then the second part of that was I was staying pretty active with my pool. My pool kept me on my toes because I have a tree. So I was out, vacuuming and cleaning and doing chemicals and out there with the dog and actually in the pool moving around and doing exercises. And we had some cold weeks here in Indiana. I ended up taking the pool down early because we were getting where the days were getting up to like the mid to high 70s, like 78, 77, but the nights were getting down to the 40s. And so the pool water just wasn't warming up and I don't have a pool heater. So I was like, why am I paying for all this maintenance and all this stuff? So I took the pool down and then I ended up splurging and getting myself an inflatable hot tub, which is a story for another day. But there was a span of time in between, which again, I didn't have anything. So I was less active, sitting more, and I was ordering out. And even though I was ordering and staying within my calorie count, I wasn't watching things like sodium and stuff like that, or really the macros very much. And so I think that was why I got stalled, because as soon as I went back to what I call going back to basics and I started cooking at home, moving more, the weight started coming off again. And so it was a good lesson to me that you really can't become lazy on even if you're busy, because everyone has busy weeks, right? Everyone has those weeks where life is just a little bit chaotic. But I think it was important for me to go through that to realize that it's okay, because just because you have an off week or two, just go back to basics and everything will be okay. I'm not going to lie. I had a mild panic because my first thought was, oh my God, here I am 60 pounds down. I'm going to fail. It's going to be like every other time before. You know what I mean? My mind started going down that road. And thankfully, the weight did come off. And so I lost consistently now for the last couple of weeks. And I'm down 60 pounds. So it is slow going. And I'm trying really hard not to compare myself to others. But I also realized I've lost 60 pounds since I started losing weight. When did I start doing Ozempic? Fall. So November. I lost a little bit on Ozempic, but the majority of this weight loss has been on Mounjaro, and Mounjaro started in March. So really, it's only been like 6 months or something since I've been really consistent. I'm like, 60 pounds, that's not bad. That's a pretty good average in the time period. So I have to keep reminding myself that like I'm doing a great job, but I always feel like it's not good enough. And I know that's a me thing, right? It's a mental thing. I always feel like it's not fast enough. It's not good enough. I'm not getting there like I want to. But I'm realizing that that's not a bad thing. It took me years to gain this much weight, and it's gonna take me years to get all of it off, and I'm having to learn to be okay with it being a slow process as long as it's a consistent process. From a health standpoint, I'm doing pretty good. Like I mentioned before, my blood pressure has gone down. I actually go in and see a new primary care physician in October, so I'm sure that he will have a ton of blood work. And I'm really anxious to see where my A1C is sitting since the last time it was taken because I know my blood sugars, because I take them every day, they've gone down. And most days I wake up with my blood sugar in a normal range. And if it's a little bit high, it's like slightly high, not like worrisome high, which has been really nice to see. I feel better in general. I'm not as tired. I sleep better. I get around better. I'm not able to walk long distances or anything crazy like that yet, but I'm getting around much better than I was. I can walk a grocery store. I can walk Walmart. You know what I mean? I'm not getting tired as I walk the Walmart. I'm not having as many problems with balance. So I didn't like talking about this much when I was at my highest, but when I was 449 pounds, I was having trouble with balancing. And so I was falling a lot. And I fell a couple times, like from actual accidents, and hurt myself earlier in the year. But I mean, I would just wobble trying to walk, or I would wobble getting up and down off of a chair. Like when I was as big as I was, it was hard to balance all of the weight. And so now that I've lost 60 pounds, I don't wobble as much because that was one of my biggest fears. I actually told my sister that last year, like this time last year, I was having a conversation with my sister and I told her my biggest fear was falling down because I knew that if I fell on the floor, I couldn't get off the floor. And I have actually been making it my personal goal, as silly as it sounds. Every day I get on the floor and I play with my dog because I'm realizing that I look back at my parents and all the elderly people in my life. Once you lose the ability to get off the floor, that's a big problem. That's a huge problem. And so I've sort of made it my personal goal every day to get on the floor and get off the floor. And as I've been doing that, it's becoming easier, which is good, right? Because I don't ever want to be that person that ends up in a nursing home because I fell and couldn't get up. So that's something that I'm working on. But yeah, I feel better. I just feel better. I don't know how else to explain it. And I know I'm only 60 pounds down. I have a lot more to go, but I feel better. Also, from an emotional standpoint, I feel a lot better. I think that the world is very chaotic right now. I'm not going to go too much into politics and the events of the last week here in the United States, but anybody who's had the news on knows that things are chaotic in the United States right now. There's a lot of things going wrong. And old Mary, who was already depressed by life, would have found this as an excuse to sit in my corner, stuff my face with food, and cry and hate my life. And now, kind of the opposite's going on. I feel energized to, hey, what can I do to make the world a better place? I don't know what that looks like yet, or if it'll look like anything at all, but it's a very different mindset than where I was at a year ago, where I would have literally just crawled into a hole and cried. And that's really sad, but that's where I was. I feel better able to handle stress and sadness and worry. I still have my moments. It's not like I woke up one day and all of my depression and anxiety was gone, but it's more manageable, I guess is the way to say it. It's more manageable now than it was before. And I didn't think that losing weight would change your mental capacity so much, but I've noticed that as I've lost weight, it has really helped my mental health a lot. I really think a lot of my depression and dissatisfaction with life was stemming from the fact that I felt trapped in my body. I felt trapped in my body, and it made me really hate life because I felt trapped where I was. And I'm realizing that as long as I keep with this, that I'm not going to be trapped forever. Not going to be trapped forever. The other thing is that it's so weird that when you're losing weight, you don't always necessarily see the change. Like I know I just said this, but I always feel like it's not enough. I haven't done enough. I haven't done it fast enough, or it's not good enough, right? But I never usually see the change in myself, especially physically, because I look at myself every day. I don't really pay much attention to my clothes as I put them on in the morning until they become too big that they're uncomfortable. Like I just don't pay attention to it. Well, the other day, I was scrolling through Facebook memories and it popped up an event from August of last year that my sister and I were a part of. It was an author fair, and we were supposed to go back to that author fair this year and ended up having to cancel due to health reasons. But I was looking at the photographs, and for the first time, I looked at the pictures of me and I was like, oh my God. Like, that's what I looked like. Like, it was the first time that I really looked at it. I was like, wow. Like, cause I don't feel like 60 pounds when you have like over 100 pounds to lose, shoot, almost 200 pounds to lose is that impressive until I looked at the picture and I was like, so for reference, here's the picture. So 2024 Mary was at her highest weight, 449 pounds. That was the highest weight I've ever recorded on a scale. I recorded about 2 days before taking this picture. And the newer picture is from yesterday. That's 389-pound Mary, 60 pounds down. And for the first time, I can see a change. You can also, I tell people you can see it in my eyes. Like at my highest weight, this was the most depressed. I wanted to die. Literally. I didn't want to be here anymore. And you can tell that the smile doesn't quite reach the eyes. Like I did not want to be here anymore. I did not want to be here anymore in that picture. And just seeing the change is so mind-blowing to me because sometimes I don't feel it. You know what I mean? Like I don't. And then when I see the picture, I'm like, I've made progress. I've actually made some progress. And it gives me a lot of hope because I have a long way to go before I'm completely there. But the fact that I've made progress gives me a lot of hope and encouragement, I guess. It makes me feel like I can do this. I know there's going to be weeks that are harder than others. I know there's going to be stalls. I know because it's a long road to go. But I'm pretty proud of myself. I'm not going to lie. I'm not very proud of myself very often, but I'm pretty proud of myself. So anyway, that's my update. How are you guys doing? Sorry with the super long video. I wanted to give an update, and I'll have some more on topic type videos for you guys, but this is my update. How are you guys doing? What are some wins you're really proud of? How has the last couple months been going for you? Are you sad to see summer come to an end? Or are you a pumpkin spice fall person? I'll talk to you guys later. Okay, bye.